Hello, I'm back with part 2 of this 2021 biology paper 1. That's our paper right there. Biology paper 1, 5090, the year 2021. So in the last video, I ended on question 20 and our answer was B. Nerve impulses have no long-lasting response. They don't have a widespread response and are very fast, which was B. So question 21. A girl accidentally touches a hot object and immediately pulls her hand away. In this reflex action, what is the effector? The muscle in her arm is the effector, the one that gets to effect the whole mechanism. Okay, so these are reflex actions that do not require a lot of thinking, like more like automatic actions. You've got conditioned reflexes and simple reflexes. You've got spinal reflexes and you've got cranial reflexes. Cranial reflexes are actually more complex than spinal. Spinal are usually much simpler. We'll get to question 22. Question 22, we have an ear there. The diagram shows the human ear, a human ear. What is the function of the part labeled X? That's the eustachian tube. Eustachian, if you like, eustachian tube. It runs from the ear, middle ear, to the pharynx. The back of the mouth. The middle ear is air-filled. The inner ear is fluid-filled. The outer ear just involves the canal, which is this part here, and the pinna, or the ear flap. And of course, this is our earlobe, where earrings are put. So what is the function of the part labeled X? To equalize pressure between the middle ear and the atmosphere. Okay, to equalize pressure. It's air filled, and the atmosphere is filled with air, so it equalizes excuse me, air pressure. There's also another duct that runs from the eye, okay, to the back of the mouth, the pharynx, okay, to the pharynx. And this is the lacrimal duct. Okay, so we've got those ducts that run from the nose to the, or maybe the pharynx to the ear, pharynx to the eye. So 23, which of the following actions straighten the arm at the elbow joint? C, biceps relaxes, triceps contract. This triceps is the muscle at the back of your back of your arm, okay, on the humerus part. Okay, and then the biceps is the one on top of your humerus. So C is the answer there. 24, which of the following indicates primary growth in plants? Increase in length of the stem, that's primary. Secondary growth involves increase in girth, which is brought about by development, formation of more vascular bundles, and specialization of different types of tissue. But just lengthening, that's primary growth. 25, which of the following is not a condition necessary for seed germination? Soil. Okay, you don't always need soil. Soil is just important for anchoring, meaning that the plant can grow while it's suspended in water, or even in cotton wool, or even in tissue paper, provided there is moisture, warmth, and of course, yes, right temperature. So B is the answer for number 25. 26, a bean seed is germinating and grown in the dark for a few days. It was then placed as shown in the diagram P. Diagram P shows the appearance of the seed at the beginning of the experiment, while Q is its appearance after 2 days. So this is our seed before and after. Before I even look at the answers, this seed is just growing. Okay, it's much younger. As it grows further, the shoot goes up, and then the radicle goes down, and this seed is placed in the dark. So the only influence here, I think, which can be brought about, or which can be thought about as in the question, is gravity, not light. Okay, let me just say I'm eliminating light out of the effect or the influence on the growth of the seed. Let's look at what the question is asking. Remember, the seed is placed in the dark. What response is exhibited by the root and shoot in the diagram Q? The roots are positively geotropism or geotropic. Roots are positive geotropic. And then the shoot is negatively geotropic. So there was no light there. So we cannot talk about photo. We can talk about photo. Here, no, the roots are growing towards the ground. So they are positive, not negative. So our answer is C, gravity. Which of the following methods of sexual reproduction are unique to amoeba, yeast, and fungi? Amoeba, binary fission; yeast, budding. Yeast is a fungus, so it can also produce spores, but it buds. Fungi, this is a general term, and fungi generally reproduce by spore formation. So the best answer here is A, because yeast can do both spore and this. But fungi is just a general term. Not all fungi bud. So that's that there. Okay, so spore formation. A is our answer. 28. Name the following vegetative structures labeled X, Y, Z. Diamba. So, of course, this is a bulb. These are rhizomes. Then this is a tuber. Okay, these are eyes of the potato. They're called eyes. It's a bulb, onion bulb, of course. Then rhizome, common in ginger. Then you've got the tuber there. Okay, the tuber. Question 29. The diagram shows the process in plant reproduction. The anther, the stamen is made up of the anther and the filament there. So this is the male part of the plant. Then the stigma, the style, this whole part is the female part of the plant. And so pollen is produced from here and then has to land on the stigma. So the question follows: what process is represented by the letter X? Pollination. The answer is C. 30. What mode of dispersal is illustrated in the diagram below? That is self. These pods have to explode. They dry and explode. This is common in legumes. They dry and explode and the seeds scatter not very far away from the parent plant. So that is self dispersal. 31. Which route does the unfertilized ovum follow through the female reproductive system after it has been released from the ovary? Unfertilized. Therefore, oviduct. That's why of course, after being released from the ovary, it goes to the oviduct, travels to the uterus. Since it's unfertilized, it has to move out of the reproductive system via the vagina. Therefore, A is our answer. Okay, A is our answer. 31. The answer is A. The diagram shows the side view of the male and female reproductive systems. So you can even tell this is your sperm duct or the vas deferens. That's the urethra. This is ovary, and that is the vagina. Okay, so which two parts are cut and tied during the process called tube ligation and vasectomy? Ligation, you tie these. Tube ligation, you tie the ovaries. And then vasectomy, you have to cut the vas deferens. Okay, the vas deferens. So 2 and 3 is our answer. 2 and 3. You cannot cut this one. Urine passes here. You can't even tie it. Okay, again, you cannot cut anything here. So 2 and 3. C. 33. Which of the following currently identifies the examples of continuous and discontinuous variation? Variation means differing. Okay, differences. Continuous variations are those which gradually change among individuals of the same species, while discontinuous variations or differences are those that are distinct, can clearly be seen to either be white or black. Michael Jackson, black and white. So discontinuous variations, the answer there which I had is A. Blood groups. It can be blood group A, but again, it can be AB. Okay, it can be A can be homozygous, meaning AA, or AO, which is heterozygous. So I think that is a kind of gradual. Okay, while it's the ability to roll your tongue, it's either you can or you can't. There's a big difference there. There's nothing like partial. It's either you can or you can't. Color, this is also peas, color of flowers of peas. Okay, let me not complicate this thing, but this was my best answer. Color of flowers, intelligence in humans, this is continuous. Okay, color of flowers in peas, these depend on dominance and many other factors, but otherwise you can have pink, white, red, and the like. So this could be continuous as well. Height in humans, it's continuous. Color of human eyes, it's continuous. Some are dark, then some are brown, then some are gray. So there's a change. It's gradual. It's not that there's the colors are just exact. So sex in humans, this is discontinuous. It's either you're male or female. Although there are rare cases, but yeah, it's discontinuous. Color, this is continuous. So my best answer there was A. What stage of mitosis is illustrated in the diagram? Anaphase. Anaphase. Of course, what starts with is prophase, metaphase when they reach the metaphase plate here, then anaphase as they leave the metaphase plate, then telophase is when they arrive at the pores of the cell. So here, I don't know if they have already arrived or maybe they're just leaving the thing, but my best answer there was anaphase. 35. The diagram below shows the pedigree in which some members of the family have hemophilia. Hemophilia is a genetic condition in which blood clotting takes or occurs very slowly in individuals. It's common in males because it's carried by the X gene. Okay, so it's a sex-linked disorder. Okay, so we've got a key here: hemophilic male, hemophilic female, normal female. These two are parents. So the circle is a female, the square or the box is a male. They have two children. The male is what? Hemophilic. The female is not hemophilic. If the male is hemophilic, there is high probability that this female who's normal is heterozygous in terms of the gene for hemophilia, the gene for making proper or maybe enough quantities of blood proteins essential for blood clotting. So they can never have these two children who are hemophilic if this one is not a carrier, because this one, it's clear that they are normal and they have not told us or shown us their family tree. So this one, out of all the labeled ones, let's look at the question. The diagram below, which person is a carrier for hemophilia? It's definitely B. This one is hemophilic, he's not a carrier. So definitely B, because we have seen that they have a sibling who's hemophilic. So there's a very high chance that they could have also inherited a gene that is, the gene for hemophilia, okay, but it's being suppressed by the dominant gene that enables them to manufacture blood proteins essential for clotting. Number 36. Which of the following types of soil has the highest distribution of earthworms? I went for loam soil. Okay, loam soil. Clay, no. Clay is very fine, and it becomes very compact when dry, so it can kill the worms. Okay, it loses water once it doesn't lose water quickly, but once it loses water, it really becomes dry and cracky. Okay, so organisms or microorganisms cannot easily survive there, and then it has got pH issues. You do your homework. Sand soil, no. Silt, no. So my best answer there was B. 37. The diagram shows a pyramid of biomass for organisms in the ecosystem. Okay, which diagram or which organisms are carnivores? My take was P and Q. Okay, P and Q. This is biomass, their mass. You don't need a lot of carnivores in a given ecosystem or a national park, because if the carnivores are many, what will happen to the zebras? Okay, if the lions are many. So carnivores or lions just have to always be less than the food that they eat, otherwise they'll bring about extinction and issues like that. So P and Q are the appropriate layers of this pyramid to represent carnivores. Question 38. Rabbits are primary consumers. The following figures show changes in the population after a small number was released on an island where none had previously lived. The population was increasing along A, then it began more like stabilizing, then it was stable or constant, then it decreased. The question follows: which stage shows when the birth rate was equal to the death rate? Here, okay, the population seems to be constant, and then the only way it can be constant is when the number of rabbits being born and those dying is almost the same. If either of the two becomes more, then population will either increase or decrease. So here, number of those being born and dying is equal, so it remains constant. 39, our second last question. The diagram shows part of the carbon cycle, which later represents photosynthesis. C. Carbon dioxide is taken from air to make plant compounds. Therefore, this is inside plants. Okay, this is respiration. The carbon dioxide is being added to the atmosphere. This is more like decaying, okay, death, plant death, okay. all in all, it is C. Okay, C. My last question in this paper, as we kiss it goodbye, is 40. Which effect is least likely to occur as a result of deforestation? Deforestation is simply cutting trees in large numbers. Okay, large numbers. So my answer there is an increased risk of flooding. Floods and deforestation are not so closely linked. If anything, deforestation may bring about a reduction in rainfall, because the amount of water vapor being added to the atmosphere will reduce. The others, these are all very, very much connected to deforestation. So my answer for number 40 is D. Let me say I'm done. I'll see you in the next video of whatever thing I'll think of posting. Hopefully these things are helpful in one or another. I know sometimes I'm too fast, but just listen harder. Okay, you may see me because I see you. Have a good day.